You are tuned into the new home for IE Sportsnet every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. with Coach B.
And Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On Fox Sports Radio, 1350 a.m. IE Sportsnet every Saturday morning, 8 a.m.
Where the pros talk sports in Riverside and San Bernardino. Fox Sports 1350. KTDD San Bernardino. An iHeartRadio station.
Yo, what up? This is Sendog from Cypress Hill. You're listening to me on IE Sportsnet all day long, all day strong, you heard?
Yes, we are live. It is IE Sportsnet, IESportsnet.com, right here live on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. I am Eternal.
And this is Coach B. Now, you know when it comes to Inland Empire sports, the conversation starts and stops right here.
Yes, sir, indeed. It is IE Sportsnet, man, on a wonderful Saturday like we always do at this time. Live in the house with my man, Greg Holla. It is a beautiful day, man. We have a great show lined up for you today. Coach B, we were out there at the IE Sportsnet Spotlight game. And out there with Oak Hill.
You almost forgot where we were at.
I was gonna say
it was Southern California somewhere.
We were deep in California.
Absolutely. And before we get to the Spotlight game, like you said, we have a great show today. We have Grady O'Donnell from Chino Hills is in the building. Coach VP from Upland Christian is in the building. Indeed. And the one and only Coach Alex Pierce from Rialto Carter is in the building. So,
and also we're going to have our special guest that's going to be calling in today.
Oh, yes.
IE Dreamers.
Absolutely.
They just do a great service out there for the Inland Empire, man. So if you guys want to follow the IE Dreamers, or at IE Dreamers on Instagram.
Now back to this game. Up in the Hesperia, it is in Southern California.
It is.
It's in San Bernardino County.
Everybody say it's an inland valley.
Right. Right. They were happy to, once we got past the security, they were happy to see us. So we were on the sidelines. Usually when we show our CIF credentials, there's no issue.
Generally speaking, but yeah, it was.
But coach was gracious to see us.
I was about to say the coach was there. The players were excited to see us.
Right.
That was it.
Exactly. Coaches and players were happy to see us. They were it was a game. It ended up going into overtime. It's a game that I think that the Oak Hill should have won, could have won.
Yeah.
The final score was 27-24. Los Osos, our guy, friend of the show, Bryce Youngquest.
Really played it, man.
He did everything. I think he was coaching. He was getting water.
Right. He was doing the video camera.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That guy
taking
was
the ticket stubs.
Yeah, he was like the all-in-one player. And he had that big old sponge on his helmet to kind of look like, in terms of like when you looked at him,
right?
It
looked too big. It looked too big.
It almost kind of looked like I don't know. It was weird. Like you could buy it at Walmart or something. It was kind of crazy.
Well, essentially, with those helmets, what they do is they reduce the risk of concussion.
Right.
So that way he can't be concussed. I know because I coached him as a kid, and I know that's always been a concern with his dad.
Yeah, well, the kid's a gamer though. I can tell you that. Oklahoma's getting the stud out there. So it was a great game. Los Osos and Great Oak.
IE.
No. Was it no?
No. It was Oak Hill.
Oak Hill.
And that is the IE Sportsnet Spotlight game. We're going to call them spotlights because we've had some people, we've got some flack on that.
Hey, we understand. We get it. I mean, everybody wants to see their son be the spotlight person.
Exactly.
So it's all good. Also, man, coming up, man, we have we're going to get right into it. Our top five results. We have, let's go ahead and start off with number 5. Vista Marietta, they beat Ballard.
No. Actually, I'm sorry. That's a typo for me. They beat Santiago.
Wow.
I can see. It was 6 o'clock in the morning when I was doing this.
Yeah. It's all good. Good. Santiago, and this is was this Corona Santiago or not?
Yes, Corona Santiago. They put a little bit of scare in Vista Marietta.
Well, I mean, look here.
If you want to call that.
I guess so. But you know what? Hey, they competed.
Yeah.
They competed because, Corona Santiago, as most folks know, they lost their coach.
Right.
Who's now over at Rancho Verde.
Right.
So they're kind of starting all over again. They're trying to gain their personality back. So at least they kind of put, they put their hands up. Vista Marietta is obviously
they put their hands
up. They just didn't get slapped around. They put their hands up. But again, Vista Marietta, they pulled out that game 55-33.
Right. And then our guys over at Redlands East Valley, and I can see now. I mean, I don't think I'm going to do these scores again at 6 o'clock in the morning. I know that Vista Marietta they lost. They lost last night, so it was a tough game.
Whoa, Vista Marietta.
Vista Marietta. I'm sorry, Redlands.
Okay.
Rev. Oh my God.
Rev lost last night.
Rev lost last night. Man, it's early in the morning.
We're gonna be all right.
So Rev did take an L last night.
My man Kendrick said, we're gonna be all right.
Right.
Rev took a big L. Also, our number 3 team, Rancho Cucamonga, they cruised past Don Lugo and a 35-10 victory non-league play.
Right. And then number 2 was Norco. I mean, they put in so much work. They decided, we're going to take a week off.
Had a little vacay.
Yeah, we're going to
took it to the Bahamas.
Yeah, they got that stud quarterback over there that is just playing lights out right now.
Indeed.
I read about him in the newspaper, and they said it looked like a man playing against boys.
Yeah, well, we know, again, there's been some hype about him last year that kind of, I guess a lot of people say it didn't really live up to. But, they were still very competitive. They went out there, they kind of made a big push in the second half of the season last year.
Went deep in the Pac-5 playoffs.
Exactly. So it kind of transitioned into coming into the year of the 2015-2016 season. So it's going to be something big. And
once again, you're listening to IE Sportsnet on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. Coach B Eternal. We're going over the IE Sportsnet top 5. The results for the top 5 on our poll. You want to see our poll? Go to iesportsnet.com. Number 5, we had Vista. Number 4, we had Redlands East Valley. Number 3, had Rancho. Number 2, we had Norco. And then the big one.
And then we had the number 1 game, the number 1 team, which is Corona Centennial. Big shout out to my man, Coach Logan, who earned his 200th win with these Centennial Huskies out there. JJ
Dynamite!
JJ Dynamite Taylor scooted again for 137 yards, 3 touchdowns. A quarterback, man, he had 396 total yards. Wow. Big second half. They kind of poured it on. They always play. Orange Lutheran is always a tough team. Really, a lot of, I think they're recruiting.
All right.
I'm playing.
Yeah.
It's always the big speculation with a lot of those private schools. They always say that. But again, no, Orange Lutheran is a big school. They really do a lot of great stuff out there. They played them tough last year, and again, another tough game this time. Really close game. Orange Lutheran, they beat them 35-14.
Right, and that was a big game. So we broke down our top 10. We talked about the spotlight game of the week. We told you who we got coming up. So we're going to go ahead and step out and take us a quick commercial break. When we get back, we'll have the one and only Coach Pierce from Carter High School here on IE Sportsnet. So you're listening to IE Sportsnet with Coach B.
And Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM.
This is Ryan Kelly with the LA Lakers. And this is the IE Sportsnet.
Data knows you post selfies like they're going out of style. Data knows you've got no selfie control. Lucky for you, for just $35 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and more data than ever. So keep snapping and sharing. Boost Mobile cut the price and cranked the data. So stop spending a ton of money on a little data and start getting more data for less. Come to Boost Mobile and come to data. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or boostmobile.com for details.
$35 plan includes 1 gigabyte a month of high-speed data. Video streaming limited to 3G speeds. After applicable data allotment reached, data speeds including video reduced to 2G speeds for remainder of plan cycle. International services extra. Offer and coverage not available everywhere and subject to change. State and local sales taxes/fees may apply when adding funds to accounts. Offer network use rules and other restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com or in-store materials for details.
Attention structured settlement recipients. Are you receiving future payments from a settled lawsuit? Do you receive annuity payments spread out over a long period of time? If you are receiving a structured settlement and want a lump sum payment, call CBC Settlement Funding now. If you qualify, you could be eligible for an immediate $1,000 fast-track advance. Get cash today to pay off credit card debt, buy a car, start a business, or make home improvements. Stop waiting for your money. Receive all or just a portion of your settlement today. Structured settlements are designed to spread out payments over 10 or 20 years. If you are receiving a structured settlement paid out over time, call to receive your personalized options and be sure to ask about a $1,000 fast-track advance. Get the money you deserve today.
Call CBC Settlement Funding now to discuss your free no-obligation quote at 1-800-648-4504, 1-800-648-4504. Again, that's 1-800-648-4504.
Did you know home appliance and major system breakdowns cost homeowners an average of $1,700 per year in repairs and replacements?
American Residential Warranty can help cover those costs with home service plans starting at less than $1 a day.
Plan options include coverage for covers central air, heat, and ductwork.
Interior electrical systems and plumbing.
Major kitchen appliances.
Water heaters.
Washers and dryers.
Garage door openers.
Ceiling fans and more.
Even pools and spas.
American Residential Warranty replaced my dishwasher with a brand new one, and I only paid a small service fee.
I woke up on a Saturday morning, there was no hot water in the shower. So I called American Residential Warranty. They sent a repairman to fix the problem the same day.
Call now. There's no obligation. But hurry, if you wait until you need a home service repair,
it'll be too late.
Call now to get your home warranty. 1-800-969-0885. That's 1-800-969-0885.
Attention. The FDA has associated Depakote and Paxil with serious birth defects. If you took one of these drugs while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, the manufacturer may be to blame. If you took Depakote or Paxil and your child was born with anal atresia, cleft palate, clubfoot, cranial defects, heart defects, gastroschisis, omphalocele, PPHN, spina bifida, or other limb defect, call the Rely On Group. You and your child may be entitled to a significant cash award.
Call the Rely On Group right now and you'll be connected to an experienced attorney who will evaluate your case and determine if you may qualify for financial compensation. There is no risk on your part and you don't owe a penny unless we are successful.
If you took Depakote or Paxil while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect,
call the Rely On Group at 800-219-6552. That's 800-219-6552. Attention patients who've been implanted with an IVC filter. If you or a loved one received an inferior vena cava filter and are now suffering complications, call the Rely On Group right now. You may be eligible for financial compensation. IVC filters are implanted into the inferior vena cava vein to prevent blood clots from traveling into the lungs, causing pulmonary embolisms. Unfortunately, these filters can fracture, move throughout the body, pierce blood vessels and organs, tilt, or become irretrievable. These failures can result in a number of serious injuries, including internal bleeding, organ damage, infection, and even death. If you were implanted with an IVC filter and were injured, you may be owed compensation from the manufacturer.
Call the Rely On Group right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation for your pain and suffering.
If you or a loved one has been implanted with an IVC filter and the device failed, call the Rely On Group at 800-219-2913. That's 800-219-2913.
You're listening to IESportsNet.com, the Inland Empire Sports Authority.
Yes, we are back at his IE Sportsnet. IE Sportsnet right here live on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. In the house on a great Saturday morning. I am Eternal.
And this is Coach B. When it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops right here.
Yes, indeed, man. We have a great Saturday. Great show lined up. We have a special guest in the house coming off a real big win last night. When I say real big, I mean like gigantuous of large proportion. Coach, if you would be so kind, please introduce yourself to the IE Sportsnet audience.
It's Alex Pierce. I'm the head football coach at Carter High School.
Hey.
And Coach Pierce, they went ahead and beat JW North last night, 69-19, a big game.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to say this. It's the IE Sportsnet good luck. Because typically when coaches come into the show, they usually have a big win.
They're coming off a win.
So you're welcome, Coach.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because Coach is like, we're not going to go on the radio and talk about no losses.
I wouldn't have been here. I would have got a text message.
Exactly.
I make it. Something came up.
So I know that's what you had to have. You probably did do the pregame prep talk like, kids, I'm going to be on radio tomorrow.
Make me look good, kids.
Absolutely. So, Coach, let's get into it. So you've been at Carter for 8 years.
Yeah.
That's a while. And you said one of the things that you had to focus on was changing the culture at Carter. And now you guys are starting to get some recognition. Your linebacker is committed to UCLA. You guys are really starting to get some good things going over there in Rialto. And years ago it was Ike, but now exactly. It's all I'm hearing about is Carter. What are your thoughts about the program and the direction, Coach?
I think it's one of the things that we got to change the culture of the kids thinking that they can go to college and really paying attention to their grades. And then, winning breeds winning, and the kids keep on wanting to be part of that.
Right.
And, it's just kind of snowballed. We started picking up deals. We had, first Kenny Clark was a big recruit for us. I started nose guard at UCLA.
Right.
Scored a touchdown last week. That
looks good. That looks good.
Yeah, that looks good. And so, now we got Lokangi is committed to UCLA. His brother Langy is offered by UCLA.
Nice.
We've got Marcus Strong has offers from Washington and Washington State.
Nice.
And then Marquise Green is a San Jose State commit. So we've got 4 kids with D1 offers, and I think it's a big thing with the culture of the school. There's a lot of things set up for success for the kids to be able to work on their grades and make sure they're staying on the right track, and I think that's a big part of it.
Certainly. Well, congrats and kudos to you on that, Coach. I know coming in there 8 years, you've probably seen a lot of transition. Right now, in terms of going forward, what's a game? And I know it's difficult for you to do that as a coach, because I know you have to look at every game as, hey, we have to prepare, tough for every game. What's a game that you have circled on your calendar going like, hey, this is the game right here for us?
Well, we open up league versus Rev, to the state champ, so it's pretty easy where you put the circle.
Certainly.
Our preseason's over. We're in an 8-team league, so we only get 3 preseason games.
Okay.
And so now we open up league versus Rev.
Wow.
So, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
And that's a game of the week. We'll be a spotlight game.
Spotlight game, yes, sir.
We'll be there. We'll actually be there.
Yeah.
And Coach, the interesting fact about you, I'm just looking at some of the notes about you, and we talked football off air, and I know you're a friend of the show. You've been on the show before. You're a football guy. You said it was actually your wife that got you into Coach. Did she want to get you off the couch? She wanted to get you.
She was like, son. She's like, honey, we gotta get you out of here.
Well, when I got done playing after college, I didn't think I wanted to do anything with football. I'd played for 10 years, in Pop Warner in high school and college. I thought I was done, and then I started teaching, and I enjoyed teaching, but there wasn't the
satisfaction.
Yeah. So she was like, well, why don't you go try coaching? And then I did that, and it's been a bug ever since. So now all of a sudden it's an extra 40 hours a week.
Right.
And like, hey, you're the one that told me to do this, right? So
yeah, don't stop me now.
Yeah. So it's been a good decision though.
Good deal.
So I love it.
Once again, we have Coach Pierce on IE Sportsnet, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Now, Coach, talk about that win last night. I mean, obviously you guys had a big win against JW North. What was the mindset going into that game, and what were kind of like what was the game plan in terms of stuff you wanted to execute defensively and offensively?
We wanted to get better at the details of the game. We still had too many penalties. This is something we wanted to clean up. There were some things we wanted to clean up. Just looking at ourselves, in trying to get better at those things. We set goals for the game as far as route running and blocking progressions, making sure we knew our assignments and stuff, and were taking care of us.
Right. Good stuff. Well, I tell you what, Coach, I mean, 69-19 is a testament to execution in some form. Some went right.
And really good players helps. When you got fast guys and, you can throw the ball, it's kind of like cheating.
Right.
We've never been a big passing team. We had a transfer quarterback come in, St. Robeson, and we're throwing the ball a little bit now, and so it's you can move the chains a lot faster when the ball's in the air.
Heard that.
Absolutely, and this might hurt Eternal. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan. I don't know if you can notice. I know we're doing radio, but he has on a jersey from some guy number 9,
Tony T. Romeo.
Yeah, that guy.
My man.
I see you're from it says you're from the Midwest, Chicago/St. Louis. Now, do you who do you?
I'm a Bears fan.
Okay, there you go.
I'm about to say, there you go.
I'm a Bears fan.
There you go. So I know we're talking high school football, but what are your thoughts about the NFL season this year? What are the Bears going to? I thought it was a mistake. You're a coach. What did you think about the Lovie Smith thing? I thought he should have stayed there.
I think he should have stayed. I think a lot of people overreact and think the head coach is all of a sudden going to make this instant change.
It takes a while.
And it takes a while through drafts, and it's not a perfect science. Sometimes you miss on guys.
Right.
And guys end up being stars. So I don't know. But to be honest with you, I watch a lot more college football and do NFL football because we work on Sundays. We're always breaking down film and game plan on Sundays. So we're big college guys.
I heard that, man. Good stuff, Coach.
Right. And I just want to ask you. This is a question I never asked the coach. What was it about football, Coach? You said you were a kid and you played college. What was it about football? You said this is my sport. This is my thing. I was a bench warmer, so I love football, but the bench just it wasn't my sport.
Well, I was always a bigger guy. I was an offensive lineman, so basketball wasn't going to be my thing.
Right.
It was before you could text everybody. So if you want to have friends, you want to have camaraderie, then you go and found, hey, this is a thing where you can be big and still have some fun. And it's really a team camaraderie. I think it's special. I still talk to people I played high school football with back in St. Louis. It's
nice.
It's special. I think it's part of. It's a grueling sport. It's the only sport I know where you practice up 10 hours for 10 games a year. Every other sport, basketball, baseball, you have a couple practices and a couple games. Couple games. This one, you're talking about hundreds of practices, and a chance for 10 games. So you got to be a grinder, and so I think it kind of brings those people together.
Absolutely. And then we'll just talk Citrus Belt. So what you hear is you hear Rev, you hear Carter. Are there any other opponents or players in league that we should keep our eye on this year? I know you guys are stacked over there at Carter.
Well, there's a lot of talent in the CBL this year. I think it's going to be a really tough
CBL
division.
gets overlooked, right, Coach?
Yeah, and in the new division, we were the toughest league in the division. But, Cajones came off a big win versus Kaiser yesterday. I think Ukaipa brings back 8 people. And then you look at Redlands. I mean, Redlands goes and takes care of Santiago and then goes and battles Palm Springs real close.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think, it's going to be very interesting. There could be some ties and coin flips and teams each other beating each other. It's going to be a great league.
Heard that, man. Good stuff, Coach.
Yeah, because you hear about Baseline.
Yeah, exactly.
You hear about Sunkiss, but Citrus Bell, it's a historic league because you had like the 4 highs and whatnot. And is Ike still in the Citrus Bell?
Ike's still in Citrus Bell.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of history.
That's historical high schools, they were doing stuff. So I tell you what, Coach, man, thank you so much, man, for coming out, man. Congratulations on the win. We're looking forward to coming out there for that Rev game, man. That's going to be something.
Absolutely.
Going to be something, man. So we're excited about that.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Once again, we have Coach Pierce, head coach from Carter High School, second year on the show. We got to make this an annual thing.
Sounds good.
We have it on tape now, so make sure.
We'll get Greg Holland now. He's recording that.
Exactly. So we thank you so much once again, Coach Pierce from Carter High School, coming into IE Sportsnet. You're listening to IE Sportsnet with Coach B.
And Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Henry from the LA Lakers. You're listening to IE Sportsnet.
Data knows you post selfies like they're going out of style. Data knows you've got no selfie control. Lucky for you, for just $35 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and more data than ever. So keep snapping and sharing. Boost Mobile cut the price and cranked the data. So stop spending a ton of money on a little data and start getting more data for less. Come to Boost Mobile and come to data. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store at boostmobile.com for details.
$35 plan includes 1 gigabyte a month of high-speed data. Video streaming limited to 3G speeds. After applicable data allotment reached, data speeds including video reduced to 2G speeds for remainder of plan cycle. International services extra. Offer and coverage not available everywhere and subject to change. State and local sales taxes/fees may apply when adding funds to accounts. Offer network use rules and other restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com or in-store materials for details.
Attention, structured settlement recipients. Are you receiving future payments from a settled lawsuit? Do you receive annuity payments spread out over a long period of time? If you are receiving a structured settlement and want a lump sum payment, call CBC Settlement Funding now. If you qualify, you could be eligible for an immediate $1,000 fast-track advance. Get cash today to pay off credit card debt, buy a car, start a business, or make home improvements. Stop waiting for your money. Receive all or just a portion of your settlement today. Structured settlements are designed to spread out payments over 10 or 20 years. If you are receiving a structured settlement paid out over time, call to receive your personalized options and be sure to ask about a $1,000 fast-track advance. Get the money you deserve today.
Call CBC Settlement Funding now to discuss your free no-obligation quote at 1-800-648-4504, 1-800-648-4504. Again, that's 1-800-648-4504.
Did you know home appliance and major system breakdowns cost homeowners an average of $1,700 per year in repairs and replacements?
American Residential Warranty can help cover those costs with home service plans starting at less than $1 a day.
Plan options include coverage for central air, heat, and ductwork,
interior electrical systems and plumbing,
major kitchen appliances,
water heaters,
washers and dryers,
garage door openers,
ceiling fans, and more.
Even pools and spas.
American Residential Warranty replaced my dishwasher with a brand new one, and I only paid a small service fee.
I woke up on a Saturday morning, there was no hot water in the shower. So I called American Residential Warranty. They sent a repairman to fix the problem the same day.
Call now. There's no obligation. But hurry, if you wait until you need a home service repair,
it'll be too late.
Call now to get your home warranty. 1-800-969-0885. That's 1-800-969-0885.
Attention! The FDA has associated Depakote and Paxil with serious birth defects. If you took one of these drugs while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, the manufacturer may be to blame. If you took Depakote or Paxil and your child was born with anal atresia, cleft palate, clubfoot, cranial defects, heart defects, gastroschisis, omphalocele, PPHN, spina bifida, or other limb defect, call the Rely On Group. You and your child may be entitled to a significant cash award.
Call the Rely On Group right now and you'll be connected to an experienced attorney who will evaluate your case and determine if you may qualify for financial compensation. There is no risk on your part and you don't owe a penny unless we are successful.
If you took Depakote or Paxil while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect,
call the Rely On Group at 800-219-6552. That's 800-219-6552. Attention patients who've been implanted with an IVC filter. If you or a loved one received an inferior vena cava filter and are now suffering complications, call the Rely On Group right now. You may be eligible for financial compensation. IVC filters are implanted into the inferior vena cava vein to prevent blood clots from traveling into the lungs, causing pulmonary embolisms. Unfortunately, these filters can fracture, move throughout the body, pierce blood vessels and organs, tilt, or become irretrievable. These failures can result in a number of serious injuries, including internal bleeding, organ damage, infection, and even death. If you were implanted with an IVC filter and were injured, you may be owed compensation from the manufacturer.
Call the Rely On Group right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation for your pain and suffering.
If you or a loved one has been implanted with an IVC filter and the device failed, call the Rely On Group at 800-219-2913. That's 800-219-2913.
What's up? This is TJ Ward from the Denver Broncos. You're now tuning to IE Sportsnet.
The Inland Empire Sports Authority.
Yes, we are back at IE Sportsnet. IE Sportsnet right here live on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. I am Eternal.
And this is Coach B. You know, when it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops right here.
Yes, sir. We are live in house. Man, great Saturday. It is rocking and rolling.
Right.
As always, great show. We have a special guest in the house.
Huge friend of the show. I think this is the third year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, and this gentleman here is a jack of all trades. I mean, you know, it's not all the time that you could come in, have success on the football field, then transition that to being the head coach of the Inland Valley Classic.
And he's the head coach of his basketball program at his school.
Man, that is something. So we are talking about none other than Coach VP. Coach VP, how you doing, sir?
Doing great.
Man, how is it, man, coming off that, you transition from the basketball court, from the hardwood to the gridiron?
It's crazy. We got, this year, just by playing basketball, we got like 4 more guys to come out to
awesome.
Football. So, our numbers are way up.
Good.
And,
I know that's exciting for you.
It is. We got a lot of guys that are transitioning to football that have never played before, and it's just amazing the talent that we're starting to see on the football field.
Indeed.
And once again, we're talking to Coach VP, the head coach of Upland Christian Academy. You guys came off a big win Friday. Like I said before, it was that IE Sportsnet good mojo.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Noli Indians 58-20. I know before the game, Coach, I'm sure you had it on the chalkboard. You said, I'm going to be on radio tomorrow, so make sure you guys get this win for me.
Make me look good.
I mean, you don't have to admit it.
My mind a little bit.
That's good stuff. But like you said, Coach, you've been the head coach for 2 years. Last year, in 2004, you won league. So what are we looking for this year? You're 2-0. What are your thoughts about this season in league and UC Academy? How are we looking this year, Coach?
We're looking great. Last year, we upped our non-league schedule a lot this year. We played Noli Indian. They're a very tough physical team. We've played Villanova Prep that's in the Condor League, which is considered the best in 8-man football.
Nice.
And we've been successful 2 times in a row. We're going to go on the road next week to Ridgecrest and play Emmanuel Christian. Then we play one of the best teams in 8-man football again is Faith Baptist Canoga Park, and then we start league. Our league is tough out here. There's a lot of football. I was telling Coach Pierce with Carter is like, the only thing is the field's a little smaller. There's guys, if you would have come to our game you guys have been to one of our games last year.
Yes.
Those guys come off sweaty, broken, bloody, everything. You don't know if it was Rev or who was playing, but our talent level has definitely increased this year. We've got a lot of guys. We got a first-year starter, Nate Dennis, at quarterback. In 2 weeks in a row, he's over 300 yards rushing as a quarterback. Last year, I think we had 45 yards rushing with Eric Dollar, but he was a big-time passer.
Yeah, exactly. I know my boy can throw that picks again, boy.
Oh, yeah. This kid's a sophomore, and he's really good. We got Gideon Sudica come back this year.
Oh, I remember Gideon. That was my guy.
Sudica, that was our guy. Last name.
Yeah.
We had a 70. We played on an 80-yard field, so he caught the ball at the 1 on a kickoff return and went 79 for a touchdown.
Wow.
That opened it up. And he had an interception for a touchdown.
Yeah, that kid's a gamer.
Gideon TD Sudica.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's going to play in college. He's a good player. And then we had another guy, Aaron Vasquez. He really lit it up last night. He's a linebacker, outside linebacker, and he had a phenomenal game. I think he had over 17 tackles last night, and he was just all over the place.
Yeah, 17 tackles. That's something. Coach, I wanted to talk to you about just coaching. And in terms of the spectrum of the Inland Empire, you see Centennial's kind of taking the lead in terms of quote unquote putting the Inland Empire on the map in terms of say, hey, you know what, we're going to go out here and play the bigger schools. What's your thought process in terms of what needs to happen to get more recognition for the Inland Empire schools?
I think just continue to win. I think Coach at Centennial's done a great job. The Rev coach Bruick, I mean, just by winning state last year, I mean, we were. You know, our community was still in the news for all the way through December.
Right.
And he just did a phenomenal job. But we have such tough teams out here that we don't get the recognition that we should, but they're playing tougher and tougher teams. St. Bonaventure last night beat Rev. That's still a great game for Rev.
Without a doubt.
And the next week, Chino Hills has got Bishop Amat.
Wow.
And I'm telling you that, you know, those are going to be some great games. And I think we're just getting more and more respect out here with a lot of the players that are staying and not moving into LA or Orange County areas now, or their families are coming out this direction. And it's phenomenal. I mean, the Big 8 is, I mean, who would want to be in the Big 8?
Right.
It's just like every week CIF playoffs out there.
Exactly.
Same with the Inland League's CBL. That's going to be a tough one. I think they start league this next week.
Yeah, right. And that's what Coach Pierce was saying. And once again, it's IE Sports on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. We're here with Coach VP, head coach of Upland Christian basketball and football.
Riverside guy.
Yes. Oh, and Eternal he's a Riverside native, so he's excited. So, and that's one thing I want to ask you, Coach. And I know we broke this down and we said this about 8-man football. Now I know Eric Dollar, your quarterback from last year, he's playing college football this year. I think he's redshirting. But kids can get to the next level.
Oh yeah,
because I know you said you have a
couple in the NFL. Off the top of my head, I don't know, but there's a defensive
Terrell Davis.
There's a defensive lineman right now starting at Iowa State.
Interesting.
It came from 8-man in Nebraska, I believe.
Wow.
Montana and Nebraska are huge 8-man. We also have more and more teams. This year we're up to I think it's 46 teams in 8-man football.
Right.
And you just don't realize it's a smaller community of teams, but it's still football.
Oh man,
these kids are getting it, and a lot of we take it very seriously. We scout, we videotape, we go break down stuff. I mean, if you came to our practice, we run it just like it was. You wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think you would know. You would know that the talent is maybe a little different because we don't have as many guys out there. You don't have 85 guys out there.
Right.
But
you're still getting out of scrap, and that's coming from a guy that knows football. I mean, you it's not like you have an 8-man football background. You know football, so that's coming from a guy that knows football. So that's obviously a good thing, Coach. What's your mindset in terms? What's the goal you talked about with the team internally before the season started about where you wanted to see the team go this year?
We wanted to continue to step up and win. You know, our goal is to win league, and then obviously we haven't won a CIF game. To win that first CIF game is definitely a goal, but the ultimate goal is to win CIF, and I believe we have an opportunity to do that with the kids that we have on our team. We have like all league basketball players on our basketball team that are now playing football. Jeremy Harris last night caught a touchdown and had, I believe, 2 fumble recoveries. And he's his first year playing football, and he's an all league basketball player last year, first team.
That's amazing.
So that teams are getting tougher, and now we got a little target on our back from last year, whereas before it was kind of like, they come out and play us, and we always have had good teams at Upland Christian. There's never been any really bad teams. We've just been just teetering right there on greatness, and just having the guys come out this season. But our ultimate goal, like almost every team would tell you, if they're not telling you they want to win CIF,
what are they doing? They're not competing. Yeah, exactly.
Belichick's not planning on just winning the East, right? He's winning the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what his goal is every year.
Tell the truth.
And I think in the Apogee League, you guys are looking good. You got California Lutheran, you got Lucerne Valley, you have Hesperia. What team do you think? I'm sorry, Apogee, Agape. I'm terrible with names, but in the Agape League, what is the team in there do you think is going to give you some challenges or going to be tough for you, Coach?
Well, what's funny is our whole league has stepped up this year because of last year, the way we played last year. Cal Lou in Wildemar is definitely, they're 2-0 right now.
Nice.
Lucerne Valley's played a tough schedule. They had a tough tough season last year, but this year they've stepped up. I think they're 2-1 already, and they're going to be super physical. And Hesperia Christian, those are the teams in our league. Hesperia Christian played a tough game yesterday as well against a quality opponent. I think it's Desert Chapel.
Okay.
So all those teams also are doing the same thing where they're stepping up to play better quality teams and increase the value of their players and get to the next level. So it's going to be when we get to league in a couple weeks, it's going to be crazy. I mean,
it's going to be some shootouts.
It's going to be some shootouts. There's going to be some high-scoring games, but I think defense is going to win it in the end. But last night we had a shutout in the second quarter after we got run up a little bit in the beginning, and I think the thing is we have so much turnover in 8-man football. If you graduate 7 players last year, we had 7 starters graduate.
Right.
We only play 8-man football.
Right. So that's like your team. That's like your team right there.
Well, I'll tell you.
This year we have a lot of young guys. Easton Waters is playing a sophomore, playing middle linebacker, and he played phenomenal in the second half. He's the reason that they didn't score a touchdown. He plugged those holes like there's nobody's business.
Heard that,
just
man.
growing, watching these young men grow is just it's exciting.
And you know, I say this once again, IE Sportsnet, Fox Sports Radio, we're up against the clock. But I know with this, Coach, we like you said, you coached the first year we did the Inland Valley basketball game.
And did a great job.
Did a great job. And I saw the way you work with the kids and you taught the kids. Because you are playing 8-man football, and I know you and I know how you are, is that one thing you had to instill in the guys, that we are good enough? Even though we're 8-man football and we're playing small football, is that something that you think you've had to work on to teach these kids we are good enough and we can play good football?
Yeah, it's funny you say it like that, but our guys, we competed in summer against 11-man teams in passing leagues.
Really?
Yeah. We went to Webb and we went to a couple other schools.
Nice.
And we're doing all the stuff that the 11-man teams do. And we really treat the kids like that. We have pregame dinners. We have a weight room now.
Great.
If you, like I said, our guys are getting a mentality for 11-man football. We're come out and make it happen. Thank you guys for having me here today, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coaching the game. Yeah. I know you and Rome are good friends.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to really, man, give you the kudos, man, for coming out there and coaching that game. You did a really, really good job. I mean, again, the way you interact with the kids, it's just a really great job, which is why I know that you're going to have success with your football team, because you do a really good job with the kids. So, kudos to you on that.
But I was a little upset, Coach. It wasn't a CIF game. I had my jersey, had my uniform. I was ready to go.
We were thinking we were ready to play.
I was ready.
I was looking at you, Coach, going, Coach,
if anybody gets hurt.
Hey, Coach.
What game was this again?
The All-Star game? Yeah, the All-Star game. I was stretching.
And you couldn't smell the Bengay over on your right-hand side? That was me, man. That was me, man. I was ready to go, brother.
If you we don't have those kind of ambulances. The insurance.
But I say the insurance wasn't here. We only had $1 million insurance policy, man. We, take care of those kneecaps.
So next year, if you guys need an all-star bench warmer on the team, let me. I'll be more than glad to step
exactly.
up.
If you need like a Hall of Fame water guy,
there you go.
I'm throwing water all over the bench.
I'll keep it perfect temperature, Coach. But thanks once again, Coach VP, friend of the show, third year here on IE Sportsnet. We appreciate you so much for coming in. You're listening to IE Sportsnet with Coach B.
And Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire sports, the conversation starts and stops here
on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM.
Yo, what up? This is Sendog from Cypress Hill. You're listening to me on IE Sportsnet all day long, all day strong, you heard?
This is the one and only Coach B.
And Eternal.
From IE Sportsnet, heard right here on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Now, let's talk fantasy sports for a minute. FanDuel 1 week games are almost here.
FanDuel is the leader in 1 week fantasy football with more winners and more payouts than any other site.
They're paying over $75 million a week this season.
Salary cap format. Pick any players you want for just 1 week.
Entry fees are starting at just $1, and anyone can play.
Man, that is a good hookup. Go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use our code, IE Sportsnet, sign up now.
Special offers for new users. For every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match it up to $200, and that gets earned as you pay. That's a bonus of up to $200, and it's only good for the first 50 players. Go to IE Sportsnet in the upper right corner on FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. IESportsNet.com. Sign up today.
Did you know home appliance and major system breakdowns cost homeowners an average of $1,700 per year in repairs and replacements?
American Residential Warranty can help cover those costs with home service plans starting at less than $1 a day.
Plan options include coverage for central air, heat, and ductwork,
Interior electrical systems and plumbing,
major kitchen appliances,
water heaters,
washers and dryers,
garage door openers,
ceiling fans, and more.
even pools and spas.
American Residential Warranty replaced my dishwasher with a brand new one, and I only paid a small service fee.
I woke up on a Saturday morning. There was no hot water in the shower. So I called American Residential Warranty. They sent a repairman to fix the problem the same day.
Call now. There's no obligation. But hurry, if you wait until you need a home service repair,
it'll be too late.
Call now to get your home warranty. 1-800-969-0885. That's 1-800-969-0885.
Attention patients who've been implanted with an IVC filter. If you or a loved one received an inferior vena cava filter and are now suffering complications, call the Reliant Group right now. You may be eligible for financial compensation. IVC filters are implanted into the inferior vena cava vein to prevent blood clots from traveling into the lungs, causing pulmonary embolisms. Unfortunately, these filters can fracture, move throughout the body, pierce blood vessels and organs, tilt, or become irretrievable. These failures can result in a number of serious injuries, including internal bleeding, organ damage, infection, and even death. If you were implanted with an IVC filter and were injured, you may be owed compensation from the manufacturer.
Call the Reliant Group right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation for your pain and suffering.
If you or a loved one has been implanted with an IVC filter and the device failed, call the Reliant Group at 800-219-2913. That's 800-219-2913.
Attention! The FDA has associated Depakote and Paxil with serious birth defects. If you took one of these drugs while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect, the manufacturer may be to blame. If you took Depakote or Paxil and your child was born with anal atresia, cleft palate, clubfoot, cranial defects, heart defects, gastroschisis, omphalocele, PPHN, spina bifida, or other limb defect, call the Reliant Group. You and your child may be entitled to a significant cash award.
Call the Reliant Group right now and you'll be connected to an experienced attorney who will evaluate your case and determine if you may qualify for financial compensation. There is no risk on your part and you don't owe a penny unless we are successful.
If you took Depakote or Paxil while pregnant and your child was born with a birth defect,
call the Reliant Group at 800-219-6552. That's 800-219-6552. Warning: if you've been prescribed blood-thinning medication, please pay attention. The popular blood-thinning drugs Pradaxa and Xarelto have been linked to serious internal bleeding. If you or a loved one took Pradaxa or Xarelto and were hospitalized for internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, or brain hemorrhaging, or your loved one died, the manufacturers may be to blame. Call the Reliant Group right now to be connected with an experienced attorney for a free consultation and to see if you may qualify for substantial compensation and medical expenses. There is no risk on your part, and you don't owe us a penny unless we're successful.
If you or a loved one took one of these drugs and were injured, call the Reliant Group right now.
Do not delay. There are time deadlines to file a claim. If you or a loved one suffered internal bleeding after taking Pradaxa or Xarelto, call the Reliant Group at 800-226-1565 for a free consultation. That's 800-226-1565.
What's up? This is TJ Ward from the Denver Broncos. You're now tuning to IE Sportsnet.
The Inland Empire Sports Authority.
Yes, we are back at this IE Sportsnet. IE Sportsnet right here live on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. Great Saturday morning. I am Eternal.
And I am Coach B. And when it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops right here.
Yes, sir, man. Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. Man, a great Saturday morning. I tell you what, man. Man, special guest. We've already had a great show. It's been a track meet, but we got a special guest here. It's not a lot that I use the term stud muffin.
Right.
But I think it's appropriate, man, for our special guest here. This guy is a friend of the show. Man, please go ahead and introduce yourself to the IE Sportsnet audience.
Hey, everybody. I'm Grady O'Donnell, senior running back for Chino High School.
Yeah.
AKA the man.
Exactly. And I have a special request. I don't normally do this. I mean, I'm not. Ed is born and raised in Riverside. I'm from this great town called Downey.
What they call that?
So I have a request. I know you have Downey on your schedule. I've seen what you guys have done this year. So I just want to say, because you guys just beat Roosevelt 35-13, I just want to say, just go easy on my Vikings, please. That's all I can ask.
Exactly. He says, we'll try. But, I tell you one thing. Roosevelt has some nice uniforms, but I guess that's all they
Oh, man.
I'm playing with you. No, I'm playing with you.
That's cool.
It's so bad.
That was funny. But no, anyway, you had a big game last night, man. A big game for the school. You guys, it's still non-league play, obviously. But tell us a little bit about how you got prepared and how the game went last night.
Coming off of Jay Sarah last week, it was tough, but just keep our heads up and keep rolling. And good week of practice, and came out to Roosevelt and felt like we were pretty well prepared. Just kept the tempo on them and just keep the ball going. I try to put some big yards up, but
indeed,
I was pretty happy with the yards, but 3 touchdowns.
That's what it is.
That's nothing to be ashamed about. So.
Indeed.
And one thing I like is, once again, IE Sports Net on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM. One thing that I like, when you think of the Baseline League, Eternal and I have had this conversation. I think pound for pound, the Baseline League is the best league in the Inland Valley. Maybe one of the best leagues in the entire state.
Especially when you go team for team. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'd say.
You think Chino Hills, you think Upland, you think Rancho Cucamonga, you think Edawanda.
No days off.
I had to throw Edawanda in there because of my daughter.
Yeah.
She's a sophomore now at Edawanda. Not that everyone. Right. But you think of all the players and the studs that have come out of there. We're going to go to the USC game today, and Hawkins will be out there playing.
Yep.
Now, who was the MVP last year of the Baseline League?
Well, I was.
He's like, that would be me.
Exactly. The offensive MVP of the Baseline League.
And still rolling, man. Generally that's like an award that's afforded to a senior.
Right.
It's rare that's afforded to an underclassman, man. So that's a testament to what you guys, your work ethic, and obviously to your coaching staff and your teammates.
Yeah, I'm definitely proud about that. When I heard that at the practice for Great Oak, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. But I was pretty excited about that, and it's just something to try to top this year. So.
Indeed.
Right.
Indeed.
And the funny thing is, last year when we had you on the show, you were saying how you had to fight to get your spot.
Oh, yeah,
so
definitely.
how do you?
It was a competition or something like that. You were saying.
So what are your thoughts about that in your career? You go from not even knowing if you're going to be the starter to you're the offensive MVP of the Baseline League.
I can't get all stressed out over it. I've been prepared. I've got the coaching, and it'd be on me if I wasn't prepared. And so, I just go out there and do what I'm coached to do, and that's all that matters. If you do that, you should be okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So you got your little brother's on the team, number 17.
Yeah, he's on the team. Yeah.
Do you go home and say, I was league MVP?
At the dinner table, he's like, you got to wait for me to eat, sir. You saw who's on the newspaper, right? Okay.
No, Sean O'Donnell. It's funny. We're pretty close, and we'll be driving, and he's like, dude, he's a big fan. Because he doesn't get it. It's the sophomore year,
right?
He doesn't get it a whole lot, but he watches me, and
right.
He kind of keeps all the stats.
You're right. I can imagine.
Yeah, and he, he's proud. He's proud to be my little brother, and
good stuff, man.
He's like, that's my brother.
Hey, no, that is something, man. Because when I didn't have an older brother there. I was the older brother. I was the oldest. So they're looking at me going, "Hey, why aren't you getting in the game?" I said, "Well, because somebody got to put the water out there on the field." I mean, my goodness. Everybody can't be studmuffin.com.
Well, I'm looking forward to him. I'm really looking forward to watching him next year.
Yeah.
Come in. Hopefully he gets number 7, just like.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
You got to earn it. Got to earn it.
Exactly. Running back, cornerback. So
right.
We'll see. He's a solid kid, and I think he'll do a good job next year.
Right.
I had a quick question. What would you, as a running back? Because running backs, they always amaze me in terms of, you have to be, you have to really have a lot of things. What would you say is the biggest asset for you? Because I know you have to have, you have to have quick feet. You got to have good vision because you got to be able to kind of see things going on. Right. What would you say that is your biggest asset in terms of how you approach the football game?
In my opinion, speed does kill.
Yeah.
Speed kills. There's no denying that.
Right.
But strength.
Right.
Strength is a huge part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you can power through, and you know, even if you get stopped at the line, you know, you can fall for another 3, fall for another 4.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, and you got people hanging off you, and you can still run. You know, that's the biggest thing for me is, you know, I'm not the quickest.
Right.
You know, but you know, I'm a track guy. I run the 100. And,
right.
You know, it's the same as a football field, pretty much.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Right.
But, you know, I just try to hold it down, you know, up the middle, and you know, get those hard yards.
It kind of reminds me of they said the same thing about Emmitt Smith. They would always say that Emmitt, and I know Eternal loves this.
Oh man, don't get me started. A tear almost came out my eye right here.
they always talked about Emmitt Smith. Said he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, but he was always in the end zone.
Right.
Who's a running back that you pattern yourself after? When you want to get after? I mean, the greatest ever was Walter, so that's the correct answer. Go ahead.
You mean Emmitt?
No,
anyway,
you know, Toby Gerhart.
I was just about to say, man, he reminds me of young Toby. Yeah,
Toby Gerhart. You know, I'm in no way am I even close to the greatness that he was. But,
right.
But you know, I can only strive to be there.
Right.
And I got a lot of people saying, you know, I remind them.
That's what I would say.
You know, or my old coach, my old running back coach, Coach Moore. He mentioned Woodhead.
Okay, young Danny. Danny's he's a gamer, man.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest dude out there.
Yeah,
but, you know,
a gamer.
I'll run it for sure. So
guarantee. You know, a quick story about Toby Gerhart, man. You know,
I.E. native.
Man, let me tell you something. Out of Norco. Yeah. You know, we were seeing because at the time I had a couple of my friends were on the. I know we have a caller that's going to be calling in. We'll be getting to our caller in just a quick second here. But I know I used to see Toby, man. We used to see his yards, and I was going, man, there's no way this kid is doing that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Until I saw him. And this guy, and same thing, wasn't the fastest guy in the world.
Right.
But let me tell you something, man. That guy would just drag people. I mean, you know, he was just. I mean, everybody was saying like I was on the north sidelines, and they were just talking about how tough it is. I mean, people did, and you know, because when you're running that ball, people start to make executive decisions in the third quarter if they want to tackle you or not. I know you. Right. I know you know that already. They're like, hey, they want to start kind of like diving at the shoelaces instead of going head up. So I know how that goes.
And I know we're pressed against time, but I'll ask you a question. This is something I've always wanted to ask a running back. When I was, you know, like you said, Ed and I, we were in high school and Fred Flintstone was around. But when we were around, I mean, the running back was the guy. He was the guy. How do you feel about the devaluation of the running back? It's like.
Well, you know, with the spread offenses nowadays, you know, the receivers get a lot more love.
Right.
But, you know, the running back, for me, it's not about the team or the offense playing you down. It's about, you know, you just got to go out there and you got to, you know, play your hardest.
Right.
So your coach, you know, he believes in you to give you the ball.
Exactly.
Right. That's how you steal the ball back.
Right.
You know, because if he doesn't, you know, if he has more faith in you than he has in the receivers, or you know, vice versa, it's going to go one way or the other.
Right.
And you just got to work your hardest to make sure that it goes to you. And I'm not saying I'm trying to be selfish to my team. You know, I appreciate the receivers. You know, without them, I got 8 guys in the box, and I'm
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to get someone to stretch it out. So, you know, I love when I see them make big plays. Like last night, Tyreek Wilson, he had a good touchdown reception, and you know, it's that helped me out. You know, it helps me in turn. So
it's a team thing, man.
And the good thing that when I coached, the one thing that one of the coaches, I wanted to do this cute, pretty spread, and he said, "Well, you ever notice the smash mouth teams are the ones who win?
They win.
Case in point, Ohio State.
De La Salle won.
Ohio State against Oregon.
Okay.
If you can smash a team in the mouth, that team is going to win. So. Grady O'Donnell, we thank you so much for coming in. When you're starting next year for a D1 program and you're beasting out, don't forget about us.
Don't forget, forget about the little kids.
The little local guys.
Peanut game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
The MVP, the Baseline League offensive MVP, Chino Hill's finest, Mr. O'Donnell. Thank you so much for coming into IE Sports Net. We're going to have to do this again. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Quick break, and then we got a special guest, man, the IE Dreamers, man. They're holding us. Thank you so much, man. But we'll be right back in just a little bit. So.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. You're listening to IE Sports Net with Coach B.
And Eternal. When it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops here.
On Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. This is the one and only Coach B.
And Eternal.
From IE Sportsnet, heard right here on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM, every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Now, let's talk fantasy sports for a minute. FanDuel 1 week games are almost here.
FanDuel is the leader in 1 week fantasy football with more winners and more payouts than any other site.
They're paying over $75 million a week this season.
Salary cap format. Pick any players you want for just 1 week.
Entry fees are starting at just $1, and anyone can play.
Man, that is a good hookup. Go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use our code, IESportsNet, sign up now.
Special offers for new users. For every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match it up to $200, and that gets earned as you pay. That's a bonus of up to $200, and it's only good for the first 50 players. Go to IESportsNet in the upper right corner on FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today.
Did you know home appliance and major system breakdowns cost homeowners an average of $1,700 per year in repairs and replacements?
American Residential Warranty can help cover those costs with home service plans starting at less than $1 a day.
Plan options include coverage for central air, heat, and ductwork,
Interior electrical systems and plumbing,
major kitchen appliances,
water heaters,
washers and dryers,
garage door openers,
ceiling fans, and more.
Even pools and spas.
American Residential Warranty replaced my dishwasher with a brand new one, and I only paid a small service fee.
I woke up on a Saturday morning, there was no hot water in the shower. So I called American Residential Warranty. They sent a repairman to fix the problem the same day.
Call now. There's no obligation. But hurry, if you wait until you need a home service repair,
it'll be too late.
Call now to get your home warranty. 1-800-969-0885. That's 1-800-969-0885.
You're listening to IESportsNet.com, the Inland Empire Sports Authority.
Yes, we are back at the IE Sportsnet. IE Sportsnet right here live on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. It is your guy, Eternal.
And Coach B, when it comes to Inland Empire Sports, the conversation starts and stops right here.
Man, we got a special guest on the line, man. Hey, Zach, man, thank you so much, man, for waiting patiently. Please introduce yourself to the IE Sportsnet audience.
Of course. My name is Zach Schmidt, and I'm in college right now, starting an idea called the IE Dreamers.
Man, hey, let me tell you something, Zach, man. We really appreciate you, man. Obviously, you know we've been trying to get you on the show for some time. Tell us a bit about what you do over there with the IE Dreamers, and kind of what was the focal point of you guys doing that?
We've noticed that a lot of the people, we've noticed that a lot of the different radio stations and different areas in the Inland Empire focus on the high school athletes. What we want to do is we want to focus, what happens to the high school athletes after they graduate and go on to college. So what we're doing is we're creating a focal point for everybody from the Inland Empire community to continue to follow the athletes that are from the Inland Empire after they reach, after they're graduated with high school and move on to their professional and collegiate careers.
Absolutely.
And you guys are doing a good job at that, too.
And then I have a question for you. I mean, speaking of, you make a good point. These are things, and this is Coach B with IE Sportsnet on Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. This is one thing that always fascinated me. I mean, you think of one of the greatest linebackers to ever play the game, Ronnie Lott.
Safety.
Safety. What is a player that's from the IE that you think is and you have Reggie Miller. Who are some of the best athletes, regardless of the sport, from the Inland Empire you can think of off the top of your head?
You know what? I think Bobby Wagner is really coming up.
Yeah.
I think, especially what he does for the Inland Empire community too. We followed his up here, the camps he's had.
Yep.
He just got his big contract, being the highest paid middle linebacker in the league. I'd say Bobby Wagner is definitely up there. I mean, what Quiet Leonard's been able to do, out of King is pretty incredible. He just had a camp. We should have posted about it, but he just had a camp in Moreno Valley too.
Yep.
Off the top of my head, I mean, Ronda Rousey,
Riverside Rousey.
Wikipedia says she's born in Riverside, so we definitely rep it, but we definitely haven't got in contact with her to confirm that. But,
right, exactly.
But I did hear Reggie Miller on TNT during the playoffs rep Ronda Rousey from Riverside. So.
There you go.
Yeah, he does. he does that. And like I said, I mean, we've got it's kind of. I know what you mean by that, though. I know we only got a couple minutes left, Zach. But let me tell you this: who are some of the guys that you guys are? Because I know baseball's up here. Who are some of the big baseball guys for the IE that are really making noise? I know we got a couple of them, but you can let us know.
The ones that are, I mean, this year's actually been kind of slow for the IE baseball. We thought it was going to blow up a little bit more, but definitely Jake Marisnick and Austin Barnes are definitely on the rise. Austin Barnes, he's a AAA catcher right now, but he he just got called up to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have A.J. Ellis and Grandal, but I mean, I heard an article and I read it. They said that Austin Barnes would either be starting or the second catcher on any other team in the MLB except the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So he got a few opportunities this year, but I'd say the biggest name that's killing it this year, I mean, Prince Fielder was born in Ontario, and they're really on the come up right now. The Rangers are doing really good. But let's really think about it.
And
we promoted. No, go for it.
And one thing I would say, I know we're up against the clock. One thing that's interesting is you beat Troy Percival in some ping pong. So.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
In high school, I went to Riverside Poly High School, and I was fortunate enough my junior and senior year for Troy Percival to be our pitching coach.
Nice.
And I don't know, he'd always come hang out after practice. We'd always play basketball at my house, or we play ping pong pool or whatever. One time we got Troy to come over, and Troy and my dad have been actually really good friends. Since our high school time, they're both pilots.
Exactly. We got to get ready to get out of here, man. We got to do this again, Zach. Like I told you, man, we're really looking forward to having you on the show some more, man. So we thank you for calling in today, okay, sir?
All right, take care.
Hey, Zach, thanks, guys. Zach over there for IE Dreamers, man, doing a really good job out there. We had a great show, man, so I want to say thank you for all the show. Greg Holler's in the house, man, so, hey, we got to get ready to get out of here, man, and pay these bills.
IE Sports, man.
Zach, hey, thanks a lot, man.
You're listening to IESportsNet.com, the Inland Empire Sports Authority.
This is the one and only Coach B.
And Eternal.
From IE Sportsnet, heard right here on Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Now, let's talk fantasy sports for a minute. FanDuel 1 week games are almost here.
FanDuel is the leader in 1 week fantasy football with more winners and more payouts than any other site.
They're paying over $75 million a week this season.
Salary cap format. Pick any players you want for just 1 week.
Entry fees are starting at just $1, and anyone can play.
Man, that is a good hookup. Go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use our code, IESportsNet, sign up now.
Special offers for new users. For every dollar you deposit, FanDuel will match it up to $200, and that gets earned as you pay. That's a bonus of up to $200, and it's only good for the first 50 players. Go to IESportsNet in the upper right corner on FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today. It went over.